Good evening and welcome to our presentation of IHSAA girls basketball on the ISC Sports Network, where tonight our coverage takes us to Clinton Prairie High School, where the 1-2 Gophers host the 3-0 Taylor Titans. I'm Sean Walker, and joining me tonight is the coach, Lance Scheid. Coach, these two teams are coming off of winning seasons a year ago. They both look to keep that rolling here tonight. Taylor already has wins over Kokomo and Eastern, which are local schools geographically to them. Those are rivalry games, two things to kind of build on. And then the Gophers 1-2 right now, but they faced a very tough McCutcheon team, a very tough Benton Central team, and they had a coaching change mere days before the season started. What's your thoughts on this one?
Well, I tell you, I'm excited, Sean. I'm anxious to see Clinton Prairie play. I think their strength of schedule is going to help them tonight. You talked about who they played already, and I just feel like that's going to prepare them better than what Taylor is going to have coming into this game. I'm anxious to see Taylor play. I think Tony Oliver's got a good ball club here. They're off to a great start, but I'm anxious to see, can Taylor play at that level that Clinton Prairie's had to play at the last couple weeks.
Overall, Taylor over the last 13 games leads the series 7-6 over Clinton Prairie. However, the Gophers have won 5 straight games against these Taylor Titans. One thing to note tonight, Taylor already a very small roster. They only dress 9 girls. Jaden Underwood out with injury, will not be playing here this evening. And on the flip side, for the Gophers, they're going to be without Sydney Swan again, who's missing her 2nd straight game. We had her in as projected to start, but she did not play against Benton Central last week, and she's not going to play here tonight against Taylor.
Well, Swan's 5'10", and that's, losing her height is going to be a big deal, so I'll be anxious to see what Jeff Henley does to kind of offset that a little bit.
Some players to watch out for this evening as the game gets started and Taylor has possession first. Number 11, Emma Good there for Taylor at the top of the key. One of their dominant players, as well as number 21, Kelsey Langley down low.
Turnovers are going to be huge, Sean, and just the way that Clinton Prairie likes to be able to play. They love to play and pursue on the defensive side of the ball, so I'm anxious to see how Taylor handles that pressure.
Great hustle play early on by Neal. Missed the shot, tracked it down, got the save, and now an early foul here.
Great job of ball movement, hustle, and just cutting to the rim. I love the idea of getting that extra possession.
Looks like the foul was on number 3, Jelena Harris. That'll be her first. Freshman getting the start here tonight. Caitlin Beck at the line for the Gophers.
One nice thing about early on in the season is, you're still trying to find yourself. You're trying to figure out what you can and can't do, and the coaches really do a great job of kind of mix and matching players. Great offensive rebound.
Gophers crashing that offensive glass, as Coach just alluded to, and Beck, fresh off the 2 missed free throws, goes back to the line, and that's going to be the 2nd foul on Harris.
You talked about this, Sean, with a light bench, and now you're getting one of your starters already in foul trouble. That's not good news for the Titans.
Beck able to sink her 3rd free throw attempt here tonight. The Gophers on the board first, 1-0. Yeah, substitution is Amelia Collins comes in for Taylor. And a nice rebound there. She checks in and gets the board. That seems to happen a lot. You check in, the ball finds you.
Well, you've got to be able to come in ready to go, and it's not something that Coach Oliver would want to see where Harris is in foul trouble, but the freshman will learn and just understand she has to move her feet. Another great deflection by the Gophers.
Beck again is all over the place here early on. She gets the shot here. Maybe got poked in the eye as well, but count the bucket. So 3 quick points for Caitlin Beck. She's kind of been a one-man show here for the Gophers early on.
And their 2nd turnover that the Gophers have been able to produce. I think that's the biggest thing. They overplay, and they're great with their hands and great in anticipation, and that's really been impressive early.
Caitlin Beck definitely having a breakout year here in her junior season for the Gophers. Now with all 4 of Clinton Prairie's points. And that's something they're going to need tonight with a player, seasoned veteran like Sydney Swan missing the game, for her to be able to step in and come away with steals and be aggressive. It's huge.
The biggest thing that I'm anxious to see tonight is how well a Jeff Henley's team plays together. And to your point, Sean, losing Swan, a junior that played a lot of minutes last year, and how do they handle that? And just, this has to be a complete team effort tonight.
Tinley, jump shot, baseline, can't get it to go. Rebound inside. Ball caroms around. Gophers hustle to it. Good with the shot up. No good, and then she'll be called for her first foul.
Great hustle on both ends, and really right now it seems like the Gophers are about a half step faster to the ball and getting to the bucket over the Titans.
We alluded in the pregame about the coaching change. So Amy Anthrop, who played at Clinton Prairie back in the day, went on to coach at Harrison before coming back to Clinton Prairie. Great season last year, wins a sectional championship, lost to an opponent they had beat just a few weeks earlier, almost had a trip to a semi-state. Just mere days, a week before the season starts, and she decides to leave school. She went on, pursued a different profession, and so Coach Henley comes fresh out of retirement here for the Gophers after coaching the basketball program here for a handful of years. Takes over the girls program this season.
Well, the nice thing is Jeff knows the system. He knows the type of girls he gets here, understands the program, the rich history of what goes on here and how much pride there is with the girls' program. So you couldn't have asked for a better person to step back in this season than Jeff Henley.
And what's crazy about Henley, too, is had a lot of success as a boys basketball coach, won a state championship at Rossville in 2002, and then said, hey, I'm going to go coach the girls program at Rossville for a while. Spent 4 or 5 seasons doing that, and now back as a head coach here in a girls program at Clinton Prairie. Pretty cool.
It's big that he is able to understand, having already coached girls, and I don't mean this in any way other than very positive, but coaching girls is different than coaching boys. And it's just your approach is different. And actually, I've coached girls. I was a girls softball coach and an assistant basketball coach, and I loved it. And it's something that I wish people could experience more, but it is very enjoyable.
Now, I've got to correct myself here tonight. The information I got coming into the game is bad. Sydney Swan is playing. That's her at the free throw line. So didn't get the start this evening. She did miss the game against Benton Central. The fear was that she was going to miss this one as well. But she's on the court here in the first quarter. That spells good news for the Gophers. Lane violation here, and she'll get another attempt at it.
And looking at her, she physically looks fine, so I'm not sure why she missed the previous game. But, she's not wearing a brace or anything, and that's a great sign for Jeff Henley and the Gophers.
So Swan able to convert after the lane violation, now 6-0 for Taylor. And talking to Coach Oliver today on the telephone in preparation for our broadcast, he said, hey, look, we want to get a win over this Clinton Prairie team. And he said that they've kind of owned us over the last 5, and I want to beat these guys. But they are a very well-coached team, and it's going to take our A-plus effort tonight, and we know that.
Well, it is going to be a step up for them. And I think, he understands it. The girls understand it. Now they just got to relax and play.
Nice step back there from Kelsey Langley, unable to get the shot to go.
Good job by Clinton Prairie so far of limiting, Taylor to one shot on each possession.
Thought about the shot, did Beck. They go back outside to Eckenbarger. Claire Eckenbarger's one on this team, too, that I think in her junior year now is going to have to help fulfill those points that they lost out from the seniors who graduated just a year ago. Well, that's one thing Coach Henley wants to see is Claire kind of get into that double-digit scoring mark. Almost averages 7 points per contest. He wants to see her up in that 10, 11-point range.
Well, I think that's going to be real important here moving forward, and I think she'll do that. She just has to embrace that role that, she was played with and has played with the last couple of years, a great group of girls that just graduated. She was never asked to do that, and it's really hard to get that mindset into, hey, here's what I got to do now, but he'll bring it out of her.
Quick timeout here allows us to thank one of our sponsors here this evening. It'll be Ardente Dental. They offer high-tech dentistry with a personal touch. Our team are all trained and knowledgeable in many areas of dentistry. We believe strongly in continuing education to provide our patients with the latest technology and techniques. We look forward to providing the highest quality of dentistry, achievable not only for you, but your family and friends as well. Visit ardentedental.com for more information. Ardente Dental, healthy smiles start here. And there's some smiles early on in that huddle here for these Clinton Prairie Gophers as they've been able to come out and get out to a 6-0 lead here in the first quarter. Defensively, Coach, it's what they're known for. They've created quite a few turnovers, and every shot's been contested.
4 turnovers so far they've created. They've not turned the ball over yet, they being Clinton Prairie, and so that's something that I know Jeff Henley has to be happy about. They're taking care of the ball, and they're turning over Taylor. And now if you're Taylor, you've got to take a deep breath and relax. First turnover for the Gophers there on the called walk. But now you got to find a set play. If you're Tony Oliver, find that set play to get your best player a good look in this situation.
And that player this year so far would be Emma Good, number 11. She's at the top of the key there, kind of being shadowed by Eckenbarger right now. And I wondered how these matchups might shake out tonight. But I thought that might be what you would see. You'd see the best defender for the Gophers in Eckenbarger kind of hounding Emma Good all night long. Nice spin move inside, and Taylor's on the board. Is Kelsey Langley able to get the shot to fall?
That was really nice by Kelsey. Great body control. What I like there, though, Sean, is after the make, Clinton Prairie pushing. And again, almost had a layup, really forces you not to relax if you're Taylor and get back on defense. And I love the way they're trying to take advantage and run the floor as often as possible.
Neal with the three-point attempt, unable to get it to go. Eckenbarger called for the foul there off the rebound. Get a second team foul against Clinton Prairie.
So Tony Oliver has to be happy. You've got to try to get out of this first quarter and still be in this game because it's just a different level that they're playing at. And the girls are a little shaky early, and now you got to just going to try to shake that off. Look for, again, more set plays, trying to get movement against this great defense by the Gophers.
You see the Gophers in that zone. That's one of the differences in coaching philosophies a little bit between Anthrop and Coach Henley. Coach Anthrop loved to pick you up and pressure you from 90 feet away the entire game, where Coach Henley likes to kind of fall back in this zone defense here.
And I like what Taylor was doing as a full court press, but it was nicely broken by the Gophers. But I like the fact that they're throwing something new at this Gopher team.
They're going to call an offensive foul here as that lead arm got extended from Emma Good. Her first foul here for Taylor. Under 3 minutes to go, first quarter action on the ISC Sports Network.
That's the fourth foul now on the Titans is what I have. And you've got to do a good job if you are Jeff Henley and the Gophers to keep attacking these Titans to try to see if you can get in foul trouble.
Now some full court pressure being applied by the Titans. Neal breaks it, up with the shot, knocked away. Looked like it might have went off of her arm.
I thought it went off her arm or body there, but again, the official was kind of shielded, and the Gophers will keep it.
Wilson to inbound. Corner three here from Eckenbarger. Shot up, no good. And there's that height from Kelsey Langley. Woo. She's done a really nice job rebounding early this season for Taylor. She's coming off of a 9-rebound game against Eastern.
Well, she comes in averaging 7 rebounds a game. Great shot.
Three-point shot there from Emma Good. And the Gophers rattled off the first 6 points of the game. Taylor has responded with the next 8. And their defensive pressure now dialing up the heat.
I thought once Taylor could relax a little bit, breathe a little bit, start knocking down a few shots, because you don't get to 3-0 without playing great defense. But when you're not knocking down shots, it's hard to generate that defense and that extra energy to try to create turnovers.
Eckenbarger shot from the corner, off the mark. Nash, rebound down low, can't get it to go. And then pulled out by Jelana Harris.
Nice job that time by the Titans of limiting Clinton Prairie and attacking the boards. Rebounding is going to be a big deal moving forward just because of the aggressive style of play of the Gophers.
See Taylor being very patient against this zone defense. As it's been well documented, no shot clock in Indiana high school basketball. Neal with the rebound. She'll bring it up for the Gophers. Had a very nice career as Tinley Neal here for Clinton Prairie. That shot blocked down low by Langley.
Langley, her length is really, really impressive.
I think if that shot would have fell, you might have seen the timeout. You've got to know where your shooters are in transition. Grace Good going to check back in here for the Gophers.
Well, Jeff Henley last possession went man, and that was the first time that he had done that, but they also were down for the first time. I think just trying to see, how does Taylor handle it and what do they do, and so that's going to be a big part of tonight's game is just making adjustments as the players and as the game goes on.
I was watching in shoot-arounds, and Clinton Prairie practiced that exact play right there, that skip pass across the zone. Unable to get it to drop that time.
And that's dangerous against this Gopher defense because they do such a nice job of anticipating great shot.
Usually if the number on the back of the jersey is a 3, they're a shooter. Nobody picked up Harris that time, and she makes them pay for it.
Nice job by the freshman, and now Taylor has rattled off 11 straight points, Sean.
Yeah, 11-6, now a 5-point lead for these Titans. Neal with a shot. And if there's been one Achilles heel so far this season for the Gophers, it's been that 3-point shooting. We'll talk more about that when we return here on the ISC Sports Network. After one, Taylor leads 11-6.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And, of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not
before.
going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
A great first quarter of action here from Clinton Prairie High School. Taylor leads 11-6 over Clinton Prairie. Coach, if fans are just now tuning in, Gophers jumped out to a 6-0 lead, and since it's been 11-0 run now from Taylor.
And what the biggest difference is right now, and you kind of talked about it, Sean, just at the end of the first, is just the outside shooting, in particular the three-point shooting for the Gophers coming into this game at only at 15% on the season. And if you're not knocking down shots, now that defense doesn't get set. That's what Taylor had early. They start knocking down shots, they can set their defense up, and so the outside shooting, really has been hot and cold for both teams.
And for these Gophers, they're getting open looks right now. They're just not falling. And that's been the tell of the season, unfortunately, for them so far. Now, you can say, hey, tough, close game loss against McCutcheon. Benton Central, a year in and year out powerhouse. But to that point, you've got to be able to score, as Collins does there for Taylor.
Well, Clinton Prairie comes in averaging 39 points a game. Taylor's at 44, almost 45. And so, but you got to find your offense. And a lot of these girls are in new roles. We talked about that sectional championship team from last year. And these girls, even though some of them have played last year, they're in different roles and more scoring required from them. And they have to learn to have that different mindset.
Tough shot there off the top of the backboard. Great hustle by Beck. Neal tracks it down. Eckenbarger thought about the shot. Beck will let it fly. And again, the Gophers are off. Unable to get a three-point attempt to go this evening. Break ahead, good. Able to get it to go. And now a timeout for Coach Henley as these Gophers up 15-6. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this. Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there's now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment.
At Defining Looks on Sagamore Parkway North in Lafayette, talk to a specialist and discuss your specific needs for wigs or toppers. Defining Looks is committed to helping anyone experiencing hair loss to lead a normal lifestyle. Our wigs are of the highest quality, allowing us to customize to your personal style. Shop our large selection for your medical, cosmetic, or fashion needs. Confident, bold, and fashionable. Be your own kind of beautiful at Defining Looks. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram.
Welcome back out of the timeout here. Action got started a little bit before we came back on. It was a foul by number 34, Amelia Collins, against Taylor. Gophers trying to get a bucket here. I think they can slow this 15-point run by Taylor, and that's one way to attempt to do it, Coach, is work your way to the line.
Attack the basket. Good things happen when you are attacking the rim. Great job that time by Eckelbarger to be able to get to the line.
Claire Eckenbarger able to get that first free throw to go. Her first point of the night.
Sean, that's the first point for Clinton Prairie in quite a while. They stopped that 15-0 run by Taylor.
You know, it's another area where Claire means so much defensively for this Gopher team, but so far on the season in 3 games, she's only gotten to the free throw line 4 times. They're coming into tonight. Obviously, free throws 5 and 6 there. But as aggressive as she is, they would love to see her at the line more often.
She's not afraid to attack the rim, not afraid to take over. And they're going to need more of that tonight if they're going to get a win.
15-7 here. Taylor on top. Clinton Prairie early on, first half action on the ISC Sports Network. Your home for all things local. I mean, my goodness, just this past Saturday we had the Monon Bell game. We had Marion football. We had Marion volleyball. And we had Chicago House soccer all in one day of action.
It's one-stop shopping. There's a lot that's being brought to you by our ISC crew, and it's exciting for the families and friends of these athletes.
Down the middle of the drive, Neal up, off the glass, still can't get it to go, and the shooting woes continue early on here for the Gophers.
But, Sean, you made a point earlier that's so valuable. They're good shots. I mean, if I'm Jeff Henley, I'm just telling them, keep shooting. But I mean, they're getting good shots. They're just not knocking them down.
Loose ball here. Beck picks it up, looks ahead to Neal. Neal, shot up, got it to go. When you're struggling offensively, Coach, you can take your defense and turn it into offense. And here comes the full court pressure now from the Gophers.
And that's probably the hardest part right now is they haven't been able to set that defense up because they haven't been knocking down shots. Great job of forcing their 5th turnover by the Titans.
Thought for a moment they had called a foul on Beck, but Taylor had stepped out of bounds on the play. Abby Swan checks in here for the Gophers. A freshman, younger sister of Sydney Swan. Had a fantastic breakout season as a volleyball player this year as a freshman.
Which should give her a lot of confidence coming into basketball from doing so well volleyball-wise.
There's a 3 that finally falls for Neal. She got a layup to go, and now the next shot she takes falls as well, and the Gophers are within 3. Good lets one fly. Front of the rim, doesn't drop. Nash with the rebound. Here comes Prairie.
It's just amazing on one shot how it turns the tide in momentum and confidence, which was huge for Neal.
Now, that's one thing Coach Henley wants to see, too, is he wants to see these girls be aggressive. A lot of times they depend on Neal a lot to get the scoring going, to get the offense going. He wants all 5 girls on the floor to attack.
We talked about the coaching change, and that just takes a while for the girls to gel and understand what Coach Henley wants. The good news is he has a pretty good idea and has a great resume, as you talked about earlier. and so he knows how to win. He knows he's a phenomenal coach, a great teacher, and it's just going to take a little bit for them to truly understand what he's trying to get across.
These Gophers a year ago went 8-0 in conference play as Eckenbarger knocks down the shot. Now a 1-point game. But it's one of Taylor's goals this year. When talking to Coach Oliver on the phone earlier today, you're going to get a blocking foul against the Gophers. That's going to be on number 12, Tatum Nash, I believe. But Coach Oliver said, hey, our goals start with conference. That's the first thing that we want to try to achieve, and we know that to get there, we got to beat the champ from last year, and we got to play well in conference games. And they've got one here tonight.
Well, it's a great conference. It's a really it prepares you for the tournament because of the level of play that's in the conference, and so Coach Oliver understands the importance of that and knows that his girls are going to need to play well tonight.
Emma Good with her 6th and 7th point in tonight's matchup. Pushes that lead back out to 3 for Taylor.
I think both teams now have kind of settled in to what style that we're going to see. Second turnover for the Gophers, and now I'll be anxious to see who can execute the best. It's great to do it in practice, but who can do it when it counts during a game and early on in the season? That's going to be critical for both coaches to evaluate the film and try to figure out ways to get better.
Langley pushes ahead. Katie Harris that time or Katie Hogan, with the turnover.
The 6th for the Titans is what I have.
I believe you are correct, sir.
Yeah, and that's the one thing, you got to take care of the ball, and that's something whether we're talking about Amy Anther from last year or Jeff Henley, they pride themselves on defense, different philosophies, but still take a lot of pride in defense.
Their steals up from a year ago. They're averaging 2 more per game are the Gophers. But their turnovers on their side of the basketball are up a couple as well. So kind of evens things out a little bit. You turn the other team over, but you got to take care of the basketball when you possess it as well.
Well, early on here again, you're still trying to figure it out as a player, as a coach. Nice shot.
Great shot put up that time by Alexandra Collins, her 2nd bucket of this evening. She's got 4 points now for Taylor. Lead out to 5.
And if you're Clinton Prairie, you got to do more skip passes, more cut, move without the basketball, and make that zone move, and then you got a much better chance of knifing under like that.
Neal with a tough shot from the baseline, can't get it to go. And Langley comes out with another rebound here for Taylor. And then Neal hits the deck, comes up with a steal.
7th turnover committed by Taylor. Give Clinton Prairie all the credit. Only have turned it over twice tonight themselves.
And, really, the turnovers tonight have become in one-on-one matchups. They haven't been from trapping and things of that nature. As a 3 falls here for Timley Neal. It's been the hands from the defensive players from Clinton Prairie.
I've been so impressed over the last couple of years watching these Gophers play, just to what you talked about, how impressive they are with anticipation and how many deflections they get each game I watch them play.
How about the offensive output tonight from Jelena Harris? She picks up 2 quick fouls, but she's checked back in, hasn't committed another foul, and now has 5 points. Only averages 1.7 on the season.
Yeah, that's a bonus for Tony Oliver to get that kind of play out of Harris. What I love, again, just a freshman, to be able to come into the Gophers arena and to be able to play this well early is impressive.
Collins now with 6 points. The junior averages 11 points and 7 rebounds per game. She's part of that, I would say, kind of a 3-headed monster between Good, Langley, and Collins.
Played really well and really impressed just with how she's playing.
Langley rebound, push ahead. Good, nice fake, shot up, count it. Emma Good with a chance for an and one.
She did such a great job of keeping her poise and finishing at the rim.
Foul that time called on Grace Good for the Gophers. A little over 25 seconds to go here before the half. An 8-point lead, an opportunity to push this out to 9. Good sinks it. Perfect from the line so far tonight.
Her 10th point of the contest, playing really well, very calm. And once Taylor started knocking down a few shots, they have really relaxed. I think that's the thing Clinton Prairie's got to do. Don't stress, don't press, just kind of let the game come to you.
I know we'll talk more about this at the half, Coach, but if you're Coach Oliver, you got to be really happy with the first half here tonight.
Well, the girls have come out. They're a little jittery early, but they've come out and they've settled down, and they're playing awfully well.
Shots up, good if it goes, and Neal almost got one. The caroms off, and your score at the half, 26-17 in favor of the Taylor Titans. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with our halftime show here on the ISC Sports Network. For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections, so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable. Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die. Inconceivable.
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable.
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
We welcome you back here to Clinton Prairie High School, where the Taylor Titans up 26-17 over the Gophers early on in this one. Coach, the Gophers jumped out to a 6-0 lead, and since then, it is a 26-11 run. It's been all Taylor.
They have done a great job. Taylor has of finally knocking down shots, turning over Clinton Prairie, and Clinton Prairie has had great shots. You've talked about, Sean, the whole first half. They took good shots. They just weren't knocking them down. Don't press. Don't get all worked up. It's a long game still. But right now, they just have to relax and knock down a few shots. But give Taylor and Tony Oliver all the credit.
Coach, you made a comment there in the second quarter about execution. And tonight, we've seen the Gophers execute. But to your point, the shots just are not falling yet.
And that's frustrating because when you're doing what you want to do, you're running the certain plays that Coach Henley wants, and you're just knocking down shots or not knocking down shots, that's hard. He's got to just convince the girls, keep trusting the process, keep worrying about execution, because right now Taylor is executing. If I'm Tony Oliver, I am thrilled.
For the Titans, it was a great first half action. Katie Hogan with 3 points. Jelena Harris with 5. Emma Good leads the way with 10. Kelsey Langley, I feel like the Gophers have done a nice job on just 2 points. Now she's got a handful of rebounds, but just 2 points at the half. And then Alexandra Collins with 6. On the other side for the Gophers, it's Tinley Neal who's pacing things with 8 points. They got 4 from Caitlin Beck, 3 from Claire Eckenbarger, and just 2 from Sydney Swan. And that's it for the Gophers, just 4 in the scoring column. And again, if you're in the locker room and you're Coach Henley, I'm with you. Keep shooting because they're wide, they're open shots you're executing. You hope that the tide turns in the second half, right, and you start to see some shots fall. But if you're Taylor on the other side and you're Coach Oliver, what's your message at halftime?
Keep playing. You've done a great job. You've seen when we score, then we can play defense. And that's really been the biggest bugaboo for Clinton Prairie because they're not knocking down shots. They can't get into that press. They can't start playing better defense because you're expired because you're knocking down shots. But if you're Tony Oliver, you are happy because you withstood an early slow shooting. You've knocked down shots. You're playing very comfortable. You look like you're playing within the system that Tony Oliver wants, and he's got to be happy.
For the Gophers, they're 5 of 8 from the free throw line, and really, those 5 free throws are kind of what's keeping them in this right now. If they come out, start the second half here, Coach, and the shots still aren't falling, should that be plan B? Is start to try to attack the basket more and draw some fouls?
I think that's plan A. I think that's, they're settling for that jump shot, that three-point shot is not falling. So give a pump fake, get to the rim, try to get Taylor in foul trouble, try to create more times to go to the line, being 5 of 8. But you got to attack the rim, both rebounding and shots, I believe.
Coach Oliver's message, again, when I talked to him earlier on the phone today was, one of our main goals this year is to win conference. And we know to do that, we've got to beat our conference opponents. And it starts with Clinton Prairie. They already have 1 win in conference when they got that win over Eastern. Over Eastern. And now with Clinton Prairie, an opportunity to beat the team who won conference last year. And right now, they're doing a nice job that up 9 here in the first half. This is a game a year ago that was a 41-29 game where Clinton Prairie, again, turned up the defense. You look at Taylor on the board now, they're just 3 points shy of all they put up in last year's game. And so they're on pace tonight for a nice offensive game here are the Titans. We'll take another quick break. When we come back, more action from inside the Clinton Prairie Gophers Arena. For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. In addition, the Ultimate Managed Wi-Fi also comes with the Ultimate app. The Command IQ mobile app puts you in control of your home network and makes it easy to set up and connect devices, run network speed tests, pause Wi-Fi, and set parental controls, all from the palm of your hand. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And, of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not
before.
going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment.
At Defining Looks on Sagamore Parkway North in Lafayette, talk to a specialist and discuss your specific needs for wigs or toppers. Defining Looks is committed to helping anyone experiencing hair loss to lead a normal lifestyle. Our wigs are of the highest quality, allowing us to customize to your personal style. Shop our large selection for your medical, cosmetic, or fashion needs. Confident, bold, and fashionable. Be your own kind of beautiful at Defining Looks. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram.
Welcome back to Clinton Prairie High School. Third quarter action getting set here. Taylor on top 26-17. Sean Walker, Coach Lance Scheib from the ISC studios bringing the game to you this evening. Coach, these Gophers, shots aren't falling just yet, but we're going to see if the message at halftime kind of got through, because I know Coach Henley, he can be a pretty calm guy, but he can get kind of fiery too, you know?
I think right now he's trying to feel them out. He's trying to feel out what makes these girls tick. Every team has their own little heartbeat. But right now, stay calm, trust the process, and keep attacking the rim would be a message I think he probably sent to them.
Again, Gophers did pretty well from the line there in the first half, 5 of 8. As you just alluded to, right before we came back on the break, we were talking and you said – it's only 9 fouls in the first half. That was a very quick first half action. I agree with you. Game number 1 for me this year in the books, and we're halfway through. Very
clean, and from that, still turnover-wise, you want to, if you're Clinton Prairie, you got to find a way to turn up the defense.
Taylor with possession here to start the second half, and a takeaway from the Gophers. Eckenbarger will slow it up, give it to Neal.
Clinton Prairie's at their best when they're turning you over, and they're at their best when they're knocking down a few shots, because that lets them play a multitude of different types of defenses.
Gophers being very patient. Passed up a couple of open threes here early in this possession. Good, back to Neal.
Biggest thing, you got to move. A lot of people standing around here. Jeff Henley, again, would not be surprised if he would call a timeout even just to remind the girls they've got to move.
Eckenbarger got into the body of the defender, but principle of verticality rules there.
Great shot again. You're at point-blank range. They're going to knock him down. They're not knocking him down yet.
Back out top to Hogan. She'll reset the offense here for the Titans. Neal with the takeaway. So 2 possessions for Taylor, 2 takeaways for Clinton Prairie.
That's 10 overall compared to 3 for Clinton Prairie. Now you've got to find a way to knock down outside shots. You come in not shooting great from 3 or 2, and so great job by Tony Oliver about making this Clinton Prairie team keep shooting from the outside.
Tatum Nash on the miss. They push ahead. Good. Fouled here. We'll see if they give it to Neal or Eckenbarger. They're both in the vicinity. Regardless, Emma Good will be going to the free throw line where she's been money tonight. It'll be against Eckenbarger, her second foul, team's first foul here in the second half.
I've been impressed by Good, the 5'6" senior. She has really done a nice job playing very under control and with great poise, and that's what you expect out of your seniors.
She has been perfect from the line tonight, a 60% free throw shooter on the season, 11 points in the contest already, averaging 14 points per game on the year, and she's well on her way to that. And that's something else that, talking with Coach Oliver today, that he wanted to point out, is he said, between Kelsey Langley and Emma Good, they are straight A students. They're ranked number 8 and number 11 respectfully in their class.
Well, you love it when the students are student athletes, because that's really, they want to be able to do both, and you understand, and Sean, you've got a couple girls, and you understand you want them to excel academically, also to be well-rounded, and that just speaks to the parents and the community of Taylor when you got some girls like they have there.
Pressure here from the Gophers. Harris in trouble. And it looks like a timeout going to be taken. Nice bit of coaching right there from Coach Oliver as he gets the timeout called and saves the possession.
Well, turnover, just the 4th for Clinton Prairie, and you got to take care of the basketball when you're down by 11.
Tonight's broadcast brought to us by the Healthy Communities of Clinton County Coalition. which was formed in 2006 as a partnership of healthcare providers, service care providers, educators, and community leaders who were interested in addressing issues of health in the Clinton County community. Now, over 15 years later, the coalition is still committed to making permanent changes by encouraging policy, system, and environmental changes with the desire to always make the healthy choice the easy choice. Learn more at healthyclintoncounty.com. We want to thank all of our sponsors here tonight on the ISC Sports Network, for without them, this coverage would not be possible.
Well, just such a great job of exposing the girls and allowing their families to be able to watch this, and college coaches and their friends. I just think that's such a big deal nowadays that ISC is able to be able to do that.
Good with the shot from the corner off the mark. Nice box out by Neal, but unfortunately, if you're a Gopher fan, nobody blocked out Harris. As Taylor saved possession momentarily. Neal down the lane, shot up. Can't get the runner to go. And we'll see if they call this one on the floor or if they give her a shooting foul.
Number 1.
I would think that she'd be shooting 2 here. I thought that she was in the act, and what I love, attacking the rim. Get to the paint. Good things happen. You're inside 10 feet. You got a chance to knock down a shot. In this case, didn't, but it's going to the line.
So one place tonight that the Gophers have seen the ball go through is broadcaster Jinx was getting ready to happen
Jinx.
anyway.
Appreciate that. I'm sure Neal's happy about that.
But definitely one place where they've had some success tonight's at the free throw line. Neal misses the first, second one on its way, gets it to go.
Well, they come in shooting 61% from the free throw line. Not great, not bad, but they're right around that percentage now.
Harris finds Collins, over to Hogan. Nice little dribble into the free throw line, unable to get the shot to go, though.
I'll be anxious to see how much of the pace of play changes for this Gopher team trying to get a quicker shot.
The senior in Nash gets the shot up, can't get it to go. Now a tie up here. Possession's going to stay with the Gophers.
That pace of play was always something that Amy Anthrop loved to be able to do, was try to get after you, and I'll be anxious to see how much that Jeff Henley wants to play at that pace or try to push the tempo at all.
Neal, 3 on the way. A little bit left, missed everything. Harris on the rebound.
Got to quit settling for that 3. I think when they attack the rim, they being the Gophers, I just think they create so much more better opportunities and better shots.
Haven Wilson on the ground, able to come up with the steal for the Gophers.
11th turnover, Sean, for the Titans. If there's one thing that Tony Oliver cannot be happy with, it's that.
Swan over to Nash. Wilson lets the 3 fly, unable to get it to go. Rebounded by Collins.
Everything has been on the perimeter for Clinton Prairie. There's been very little cutting, moving without the pass, back cuts, something to try to make that defense move and make, again, a closer, more high percentage shot if you're the Gophers.
Harris lets it fly. She hit one of those earlier in the first half. Neal on the rebound.
That early on the possession, I'm not sure that Tony Oliver's really happy with that shot there. You want to play within the system, but keep attacking.
Good. Able to get around the defender, get to her strong hand, and create the contact.
I think that foul was on Wilson.
Her first, team second. Grace Good.
Some substitutions will take place here as Claire Eckenbarger and Grace Good check back in for Clinton Prairie. It's one thing you wondered tonight. Again, you talked about the pressure and dialing it up. It's hard to do that when the shots aren't falling, Coach.
You can't play defense. To your point, Sean, you really, that's the biggest issue right now is when you don't knock down shots, that takes a big part of your game out of the game, and that's something that if you're Jeff Henley, you got to be frustrated with.
And it leaves you in a little bit of a coaching quandrum because tonight is a night where, as Harris gets a shot to go, you would like to speed the game up and try to wear down Taylor when they're limited. Literally 8 girls dressed tonight for the varsity.
Short bench and a little bit of foul trouble, make them go a little bit and see how they can can handle that pressure. But that hasn't happened yet. Nice shot by Good.
Good, able to knock down her first bucket of the evening. 10-point game right now, stopping the action. Looks like there's, yeah.
Yeah. And that's something that, again, they do a great job of getting that off of the jersey and getting that off of the player, and so they can stay in the game.
So a quick in-game timeout here for both teams. Able to catch the breath, maybe get some further instruction. And it's got to be tough. I mean, we obviously not to beat a dead horse, but kudos to Coach Henley for being willing to come off the couch in retirement literally a week before, your games are getting started and take on a team. Now, the blessing for Coach Henley here, and I think the reason why he said yes, is this is a team that was very close to going to semi-state last year. Now, while they graduated some seniors and some key players, a lot of your scoring returned right here, even with the youth. That core group with Neal and Eckenbarger and Swan, they were three of your marquee players a year ago.
Well, Coach Henley, the nice thing is he has so much love for Clinton Prairie, and it's, really considers it home is where he is. So I'm not surprised that he would do this. It doesn't hurt that they have a great nucleus back, but he understands that what this program means to this community and wanted to make sure that he kept it going in the right direction.
And for Taylor, this is a program that continues to try to build as well. They've got 3 straight winning seasons under Coach Oliver. Last year only got 14 games in with the pandemic and COVID, but still went 8-6 on the season after going 16-8 and 13-8 the 2 seasons prior.
Well, Tony's building it, and he's building it the right way, and just watching them play, I've been impressed. They have played under control. They've done a good job of knocking down shots. The only thing he could be upset about is they've created too many turnovers with 13 at this point.
Limited roster, but you've got some youthful players on that roster. Obviously, you've got Langley and Good, your 2 seniors, your senior captains that are going to graduate, and that's going to leave a glaring hole next year. But valuable minutes for someone like Jelena Harris, the freshman who's seeing a lot of varsity time this year.
I like what Taylor has. I think they've got good chemistry. I think the girls play well together. They're very unselfish. They knock down shots. They're doing a good job on defense. They're just right now not handling the pressure because they're turning the ball over way too much.
You're going to get a foul on the floor. Eckenbarger wanted to travel there, not going to get it.
Foul on Gophers, number 21, Claire Eckenbarger.
She's going to pick up her third foul.
It's a big foul. They need Claire need to stay in the game for the Gophers. Great job by creating penetration and the contact and the foul for Taylor.
Harris with it outside. Back out top to Hogan. And if I'm Taylor, I'm not in a big hurry here. You got a 10-point lead. And you get the turnover. Swan looks to push.
Great point there, Sean, is you don't need to be in a hurry. You don't want to swat down. Emma Good was in great spot, great defense. Anytime you slap down, it's almost always a foul.
Number 11, Emma Good.
Swan's going to head to the free throw line. Good going to pick up, I believe they said, her third foul here. And that's a big one with still 1:35 left in the third quarter. She's got to play smart the rest of the way here for the Gophers, or for the Titans, excuse me.
Well, she has been the catalyst thus far with 12 points. They can ill afford to see her get into foul trouble. Would not be surprised if Tony Oliver takes her out the remainder of this quarter, making sure that she's fresh and doesn't pick up that 4th foul in the third.
Broadcasts like this, I always like to go back and look at the history of schools and see what they've done tournament-wise over their time. And for Taylor, this is a team that's won 5 sectional titles. Had one in 1976, one in 1983, but they won 3 straight in the early 2000s. They went 04, 05, 06, and that 05 year led to a regional championship as well. Now, obviously, a little bit of a drought now, going on 15 years, but that's part of that goal number 2. I've told you the goal number 1 was a conference championship Taylor's goal number 2 is obviously a sectional championship. That's a tough feat this year. They're in sectional number 39, and the number 1 team in 2A sits in that sectional with them in Tipton.
You know, all you can do is worry about what you do, what your program does to get better and give yourself a chance come tournament time. And I love the what Taylor has done. I like what Tony Oliver's doing. And you're right, Tipton will be a tall task, but it's something that let's worry about them in February, and let's take care of business between now and then.
Yeah, they'll get an opportunity to see them on December 1st regular season-wise as maybe just a measuring stick before that postseason matchup potential.
I just love the idea that playing them. I think, again, if you want to be successful, you've got to play the very best, and right now the very best is Tipton.
One bright spot tonight for the Gophers has definitely been their defense. I mean, I know they've allowed 30 points here, but they have created a ton of turnovers.
15.
It just hasn't led to points on the other end.
Sometimes there's lid on that basket, and tonight so far through almost 3 quarters, that lid has been pretty tight for the Gophers. Starting to see more cutting and slashing, which I think is big. Point blank.
Neal might have caught one in the nose that time. She's slow to recover and get back the other way.
Point blank range, again, I know she got knocked, but Jeff Henley's got to be going crazy right now just because he's gotten good looks. They just can't knock him down yet.
And I know Neal's frustrated. I mean, a young lady who averages 16 points per game. She's got 9 here tonight. I mean, even against a team like McCutcheon, had 18 points and 8 rebounds for the Gophers.
Well, the biggest problem right now is Clinton Prairie's sitting on 3 points for this quarter. Now, they've done a really good job of holding Taylor to, looks like, 4 points themselves. There hasn't been a lot of scoring in this third quarter, but it's something that, to win. And if you want to play against Tipton and play at that level, you're going to have to be able to put the ball in the basket.
Neal walk it up here as we get down to about 20 seconds to go, third quarter action. For the Gophers, you hold for one here, maybe try to see a shot go through and see if you can steal some momentum going into the fourth.
Can you see that go through? Because you're great point, Sean. And I think you got to find a way to see it go through, because once you start seeing it, everyone starts relaxing. But right now, they just haven't seen it.
Ran a set play that time for Neal, unable to get the shot to go.
Think players, not plays, and that's what Coach did, just wasn't able to get it done.
Hogan will push. She got to get it up quick. Actually, she'll get a pass off. Collins unable to get the shot to fall, but Taylor still on top of Clinton Prairie. 30-20 your score after 3. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable!
Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die.
Inconceivable!
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable!
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
Welcome back here, start of the fourth quarter at Clinton Prairie High School. We thank you for tuning into our coverage tonight of IHSAA girls basketball here on the ISC Sports Network, a place where you can find a lot of sporting content as we progress through the season. But this week alone, we've got girls basketball here tonight. We've got soccer on Thursday from Marion University. We've got football Friday night that you can find on ISC and MyIndy TV, and it'll be New Albany versus Cathedral. I know you're on that call Friday night, Coach. And then more college football and soccer and volleyball action this weekend.
There's so much out there for the sports fanatic, and there's one-stop shopping here at ISC. And again, whatever your sport taste is, we offer it, and that's a big deal.
If you're watching this game for free tonight on our app, you'll notice there was a subscribe button. Go ahead and subscribe. It's $4.99 a month. It gets you access to all of our content outside of the pay-per-view events, of course, that you get all the look-backs at shows like Prairie and Schultz and everything else that you can find on the ISC Sports Network.
The variety that's offered is really great for that sports fan, and something that I think once you take a closer look, you'll realize it's a great place to catch up on all your sports.
The Gophers able to strike first in the fourth quarter, cut that lead down to 8. And it
Big
looks
possession.
like a little more pep in the step, Coach, a little more intensity.
They're moving, and more urgency is a big deal, but you've got to knock down shots if you're Prairie. Unless you do, it really, as well as you're playing on defense and your turn Taylor over 16 times so far through 3 quarters, it's a big deal.
Be a blocking foul here as Good was able to kind of split the defense. Nash, don't know necessarily agrees with the call, but she'll pick up another foul here this evening.
Very rarely have I ever seen a player really agree with a call, and I understand that because they felt like either there wasn't contact or there was a charge, and that's something that you just got to keep playing through it.
Good from the line tonight, still remains perfect. Now 13 points in the contest. She leads all scorers. Eckenbarger comes back in for the Gophers. I believe Alexandra Collins checked back in for Taylor as well.
Taylor's doing this tonight without Langley, who averages 13 points a game. She's got 2. Collins has 6. She averages 11, so they're doing it mainly with Good, and she's been really, really fantastic all night.
And their 4th leading scorer, and Jaden Underwood, is out right now with an injury.
Yep.
And so, fantastic job for Taylor. That's where, a game tonight like Jelena Harris is giving you with 7 points is kind of huge. She's kind of filling that role that Underwood would have filled.
Well, because Clinton Prairie does such a great job on defense, and they do such a great job of turning you over, we knew it might be a low-scoring game. Just thought that Clinton Prairie might be able to knock down shots a little more.
There'll be a 30-second timeout taken by the Gophers, and we've talked a lot tonight about the defense of Clinton Prairie, but really after those first 6 points, Taylor started to kind of turn their defense up a little bit.
Taylor's knocked down shots, which means they can set that defense, which wants to be its own defense more than a man-to-man, and so because they're playing from ahead, they're able to stay in that zone.
Tonight's broadcast brought to us by Mulberry Telecommunications, currently offering services in Mulberry, Dayton, rural Lafayette, rural Frankfort, and other communities in Clinton and Tippecanoe County. Want to find out if your neighborhood has Mintel fiber? Visit mintel.net to get started. Mulberry Telecommunications, the best gig in town. And I know I'm partial to Mulberry Telecommunications, Coach, but one thing that's true is when you shop local, your dollars stay in the community. And that's something Mulberry Telecommunications provide, they pride themselves on. And just because you shop local doesn't mean you have to sacrifice quality. They are a nationally recognized gig certified internet provider.
It's great that you can stay at home and you're able to get this type of service, and I hope people will take advantage of it.
A huge block that time from Langley.
18th turnover committed by the Titans tonight. That part of the game, the Gophers head coach Jeff Henley has to be thrilled with. Just have to find that offense to go along.
Eckenbarger's shot just off the rim.
Another good shot. You can't be upset if you're Jeff Henley other than the fact it's not going in.
This is one of those games where maybe tomorrow when you get an off day or you got practice, you find a game to play where you can start to see some shots fall through and try to build that confidence back a little bit. because that's what it looks like tonight. You can just tell the girls, they can feel it. They know the shots aren't falling, and it's starting to weigh on them like a heavy coat.
Well, you talked about this earlier. When you don't see shots going in, you have just a different approach on your shot. And if you're Jeff Henley, his biggest psychological thing here he's got to do is just get the girls to relax. Just keep shooting. Keep shooting. They're going to fall. And to your point earlier, Sean, you'll go back into practice, and that'll be that point of emphasis because the defense has been good. It's been solid. 32 points with 5:43 to go is great. 18 turnovers that you've caused is fantastic. You're shooting the ball well from the free throw line. You just got to find a way to knock down shots.
For these Taylor Titans, we talked about that sectional 39 that they're in, and I was looking at the records of the teams in this sectional. Taylor, obviously, they're in it, right? 3-0 on the season so far. Winchester, 2-0. Eastbrook, 2-0. Tipton, number 1 ranked team in 2A, 2-0. Madison Grant, 2-1. Blackford, 2-2. So that is not a sectional that I necessarily want to be in, to be honest with you. That looks like good competition all the way around.
Well, the nice thing that we talked about earlier is this conference will allow Taylor to get ready to play in that sectional. And just the diversity of what you see in styles of play, I think, is huge for both Clinton Prairie and Taylor come tournament time.
I love how in basketball, too, you see a lot of these teams that are in 1A, 2A, they play up in competition quite a bit for that reason. They want to see test the water, see what that team's really made of.
And I think we saw that early on, and I mean years ago by the parochial schools. They always played up. The record was okay, but they always did well in the tournament because they always played teams that were bigger than them, and thus they were ready for that style of play or another level of play come tournament time.
Neal loses the handle momentarily. Good hustle, hitting the ground that time was good. Inside Beck, and that's how the Gophers started the game. It was Beck down low drawing fouls. 5 minutes to go.
You've got it. When things are not going well, you have to kind of pass up that three-point shot, the outside shot, the jump shot, and keep attacking the rim. One, to a light bench here, you get them in foul trouble, and B, the closer you are, the higher the percentage of the shot that you're taking or an opportunity for it to go in.
Beck misses the first of 2 here. 6 point in tonight's contest so far. There's point number 7. A little surprised that Coach Henley didn't press out of that after the made free throw.
I think right now he's got a plan, and I think let's just see if this half-court man-to-man defense, he felt better about that than pressing, and let's see what the Gophers can do.
Swan with the rebound. Trailing by 9.
To Taylor's credit, they've been ahead, so they've been able to stay in that zone.
Eckenbarger able to get herself to the free throw line after a nice attack.
Fouls on the Lady Titans, number 21.
Eckenbarger on the season,
Her third.
shooting 75% for the free throw line coming in. 1 of 2 tonight.
That was a third foul on Langley, the 5'10 senior.
Eckenbarger with 4 points in tonight's contest.
If you're going to attack the rim, you're going to get fouled. You got to knock down shots. The one nice thing that Prairie can do is score when the clock is not moving. That's another reason why you want to attack the rim.
Now a 7-point game. Gophers looking to try to turn over Taylor here and cut into this lead a little further.
If I'm Taylor, you don't have to shoot. I just would keep running your motion offense. Don't get a 5-second call, and you've got to find a way to get to knock down free throws and make Clinton Prairie foul you in order to stop the clock.
You're seeing an emphasis right now on ball denial, trying to keep good out of the equation. They got Langley with it out top.
As good as Emma's been, I would do the same thing. 20th turnover, Sean.
Create the turnover there. Freshman mistake from Harris, who's played really well tonight. 7 points in the contest, playing above her average.
If you're Taylor right now and you're Coach Oliver, you're a little uneasy Clinton Prairie hasn't been great all night with shooting the ball, and they're only down 7. Look out.
Little lob plays. They go back door to Swan. Swan up. Gets the shot to go. Nice design there.
5-point game. Great set play there by Jeff Henley. I love it. When you're in that situation, find a way to get the ball to one of your best players at point-blank range.
Beck gets a hand on it. Loose ball scramble. Coach trying to call for timeout. There'll be a tied up ball here. And they're going to give possession to Clinton Prairie on the timeout. Thought maybe there should have been a jump ball there.
Coach Henley called timeout before the jump ball was given, so great coaching move there by Jeff.
This portion of tonight's broadcast brought to us by Defining Looks Wig, Hair, and Nail Salon, where they can assist you with a wig for your hair loss needs. Due to COVID-19, any medical conditions such as cancer or age-related thinning hair. They're also certified in toppers, wigs for kids and children with hair loss. Find them at defininglooks.com or on Facebook and Instagram. Also located at 311 Sagamore Parkway North in Lafayette.
Due to the turnovers that Clinton Prairie is causing Taylor to do, which is 20 on the game, they're back in this thing. They have not played well offensively. The one nice thing, and Coach Henley understands this, defense wins. He emphasizes it. Amy Anthrop did the same thing, and the defense is there every night, and that's why they're back in the game.
You're literally, a bucket goes in here, and it's a one-possession game.
He's going to get really tight.
And then the pressure starts to mount, correct? I mean, that's the hard part for Taylor right now, is you've got the lead, but you can't be comfortable with it. You almost have to continue to attack now at this point in time.
And Coach Oliver understands that, and to your point, Sean, it goes in here. Now, all of a sudden, the pressure goes back to Taylor, who's been able to play pretty pressure-free most of this game.
When you have that 7, 8, 10-point lead, you know, those you can be a little more methodical, a little more patient.
Great hustle by the Gophers there. Jump ball. I thought the jump ball stays here with Prairie, and it does.
Possession, Prairie.
So the Gophers keep it. 32-27, 5-point game, a little over 3 minutes here in the fourth quarter. And you get a horn here at the scorer's table.
And the Gophers had a great set play working there. Got the ball to Eckelbarger, and so
they're going to reverse this here and give possession to Taylor. Now, Coach.
I thought that Taylor had the last jump ball, but you know what? At the quarter change, the ball went back to Clinton Prairie, so they're right.
Yeah, at the fourth, so this would have, you are correct.
Yep.
Block there from Eckenbarger, but foul committed with the body, and that's number 4.
Foul on Prairie. Claire Eckenbarger.
That's going to send Alexandra Collins to the line. Collins had a great second quarter and scored all 6 of her points there. Been held scoreless since. But these are some big free throws here to help kind of push that lead out a little further for the Titans. A little strong on the first.
The junior comes in hitting 69% on the season from the free throw line. This is a big bucket here, or shot. Anytime you can increase that distance, I think that's huge early or late in this game.
That free throw goes in. Still a 2-possession game, though, with the 3-point shot. Not something that the Gophers have shot well here tonight.
Keep moving, move without the ball. Don't settle for a jump shot.
Eckenbarger with contact in the lane. Does not get the foul, but gets the shot to go.
Now go back and play defense if you are Clinton Prairie, only down 4 points.
Coach, I like your thought process there, and Eckenbarger agreed with you. You didn't have to chuck up a 3 in that situation. Plenty of time left.
And now down 4, you're playing great defense. You've got Taylor, who's been shaky all night handling the ball. So let your strength of your game tonight in that defense play itself out. Gotta be careful for a 5-second call if you're Taylor.
Out top back to Hogan, and you can see them trying to pressure Hogan and Harris out top. This pass deflected and stolen. The Gophers with an opportunity here to cut into this lead.
21st turnover for Taylor. If you're Taylor fans here, you got to be going crazy because you played really well. Just turned the ball over.
3 there. Misses everything for Neal. It was a good look. Again, open.
Now here comes a little bit of that token pressure a little bit. Can Clinton Prairie turn him over again? Can Taylor do a better job of handling the ball?
I know talking with the Gopher staff, they felt like they just ran out of time the other night against McCutcheon. You kind of have that same feeling here right now as the clock's starting to dwindle away, and you feel like momentum lately has been in the Gopher side of the court, at least with the way they've been playing defense. However, on the scoreboard, they still find themselves down.
You still got a lot of time. 1:38. I don't think you have to foul yet. You got to try to do what you've done all game, and that's turn over Taylor.
Over top to Harris. Swan comes out to defend. Here comes the trap. Neal with the near still. It'll stay with the Titans.
Great job by Tenley there. I think, again, I don't think she realized that she was able to get a hold of that ball so much. Had a chance to go grab it and create another turnover.
Coach Oliver emphasizing with his team, you got to move.
Right now, you don't want to stay in one place because it allows Clinton Prairie to trap you, and that is something that they certainly are trying to be able to do.
Foul out top. This one will be against Swan. That's the 16th foul against the Gophers, so the next one will put Taylor in the bonus.
So if you're Coach Henley, you're telling your girls, go after the steal. If you don't get the steal on the first or second pass, then foul. Turnover.
Hands on it, loose ball, 50-50 chance here. Everybody on the floor. Coach Oliver gets the timeout this time in a scramble. So 4-point game, a little over a minute on the clock. We got a tight one here from Clinton Prairie High School.
Because Taylor has done such a poor job of handling the ball, you can't feel good right now with this 4-point lead if you're Tony Oliver, because you have not handled the pressure. You turned the ball over 22 times tonight to the Gophers 8. That's just, again, that's something that give this Gopher team credit. They have really shot the ball poorly all night long, but it has not derailed them from playing great defense, and that's why they're in this game.
Taylor trying to hang on to this 4-point lead and improve to 4-0 on the season. The Gophers, if they can find a way to come back here, would get to 500, and that'd be pretty big for them after the 1-2 start.
Well, and it's a conference game. That is a big deal. They are the defending champion, and that's something they take a lot of pride in. Anytime you can win a championship, whether it be sectional, regional, a conference championship, a tourney championship, it's a big deal for you and your program.
So we'll see what type of offensive play Coach Oliver draws up here. We'll see what type of defense, what type of pressure the Gophers come out with.
Great defense, overplay on the first pass, and see if you can steal, and then if not, call timeout.
You got Good trying to inbound here. She'll get it to Langley. You can tell Langley and Good definitely look more comfortable with the ball handling duties out there. The pressure this time a little too aggressive. And Neal will pick up the foul. Almost forced Hogan into the backcourt.
I thought she pushed off. I thought she was close to that over and back. But again, I like it. I just love the defense that Clinton Prairie's playing. The shoe is going to come around. Defensively, it's been great.
Big free throw there from Katie Hogan.
First time she scored since the first quarter, but a big free throw late in this game.
For Katie, great shooting stroke. We saw it on the 3 that she knocked down earlier, and textbook right there is both free throws switched.
75% on the season, so you're right. She does have a great sweet shot. Attack if you're Prairie. You still don't need the 3 yet. You just need points.
Neal inside, scoop shot, can't get it to go.
point-blank range been the problem all night long. If for Jeff Henley, you just got to smile because you can't, again, as frustrated as the girls are, they've done everything but knock the shots down.
For Coach Oliver, if these free throws go in here for Langley, you got to feel a little better at this point. Maybe a chance to exhale if you can build this lead out to 8 points with under 40 seconds to go.
And now you really put the pressure on a group that doesn't shoot the ball well from the outside. That offensive rebound was huge there by Harris.
Yeah, Langley
now you got a foul.
Missed, but Harris right there to crash the board. And Coach, I know Harris has had a handful of turnovers in tonight's game, but as a freshman, I've been very impressed with the way that she's just stayed the course and kept playing.
I think she's been really under control. She's done some really great things, especially for a freshman. 7 points is huge. And I like her future and upside. She is a complete player.
Langley knocks down this one at the line.
I like what Coach Oliver's saying there. No fouls. Move your feet. I'm going to guard the three-point line if I am Taylor. Another great offensive rebound by Harris.
I tell you, those are those bright spots you love to see, and you know this in coaching. Sometimes those freshmen, those younger underclassmen come through, and you've got the moments where you're scratching your head going, what were you thinking? But you got those moments where you go, man, for the next few years, this is going to be special.
Every minute that Harris plays this year just helps her for the next 3 years, and it's a big deal to be a varsity player at any grade level, but as a freshman and as a coach, you know that your future's bright.
This will put Katie Hogan back at the line where she stepped up a minute ago and just calmly swished both of the free throw attempts, and she does the same thing again. I don't think a shot she's put up tonight has touched the rim.
She has got a nice, sweet shot. I love her form in general. Just great ball rotation, and to your point, she's played really well.
Now a 9-point lead for Taylor. So the Gophers applied the pressure, did their best to try to get this to a one-possession game just a few moments ago, but Taylor's responded well. Shot for Neal from three. One finally drops there for the Gophers. Quick timeout with 5 seconds. But this one really, this is just a coaching opportunity here for Coach Henley.
I think it's really a good timeout because, one, you finally knocked a shot down. He can come in and relax and talk to the girls. And just, again, these are all coachable moments. Yeah, they're going to drop to 1 and 3, but they did so many really good things tonight. And it's not like they were jacking up shots from all over the floor. They just were knocking down, or they were not knocking down shots from point-blank range. Happens.
This is a Gopher team that lost 3 games all of last year, 21-3. The year prior to that, 19-4. Going back even further, 18-6, 20-4, 16-10. You've got to go all the way back to 2011, 2012 to see Clinton Prairie's last losing season. They went 9-12 that year under then Coach Jason Haid, who was rebuilding the program at the time. And I know Coach Haid personally. He got an opportunity to go back to Michigan and coach close to his hometown, and he won a state championship last year with a girls team up there. So hats off to Jason Haid. I know he likes to tune into some of these Gopher broadcasts from time to time and check in on his old team. A lot of these girls playing on the floor today, as you get a takeaway here from Neal and another bucket. We're part of those developmental programs that Coach Jason Haid orchestrated. I got to coach back in those days, so a lot of these girls for those Gopher teams were young ladies at one point in time out there on the court giving me headaches.
Well, it's always neat to see a program just kind of come and do such a great job. The one thing that's good, tonight, there's no panic in Jeff Henley. He's done this too long. This team is too good. They're going to win a lot of games this year.
Congratulations to Taylor tonight, 38-34 victory. They improved to 4-0 on the season. Next up for the Taylor Titans will be Tri-Central, and that game on November 19th. For the Gophers, they'll look to rebound against Delphi who's out to a 2-1 start early on the season, another conference opponent for them as well. For Coach Lane Shive, I'm Sean Walker. We appreciate you tuning in tonight here on the ISC Sports Network. Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment.
At Defining Looks on Sagamore Parkway North in Lafayette, talk to a specialist and discuss your specific needs for wigs or toppers. Defining Looks is committed to helping anyone experiencing hair loss to lead a normal lifestyle. Our wigs are of the highest quality, allowing us to customize to your personal style. Shop our large selection for your medical, cosmetic, or fashion needs. Confident, bold, and fashionable. Be your own kind of beautiful at Defining Looks. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.